Carmen, and I teach English online as a second language. Yeah. My style of cooking would definitely be experimental. I am by no means a trained chef who does everything like perfectly. Most things I do I usually teach myself. It's like trial and error. If it works, then you tell people about it. If it don't, then there's no evidence that I ever tried. So I'm an amateur chef. I cook at home. I have no training whatsoever. So me against somebody else who's possibly had, more practice, more experience. I don't know. I don't think I'm going to focus much on the other contestants and just try and keep my focus on what I'm doing and try to do the best that I can in that moment. Because I think it's going to be I'm going to put more pressure on myself if I focus on what the other contestants are doing, and the last thing you want to do is be flustered in front of a camera, in front of the whole of Zimbabwe. I don't think my family would let me live that down, so. I think getting my pilot's license was my greatest achievement. There's a lot of people who thought I wouldn't be able to do it, so I did that. I was flying for a while, but I can't fly at the moment for health reasons, so that's why I'm back here teaching English. Well, I taught myself how to cook fairly young. I think it was my gran initially when I was quite small, like 6 years old. When I used to go and stay with her for holidays, we had to cook our own food and make our own bed and do all sorts of. So that's when I started to cook. And as I got older and more freedom in the kitchen, there's more freedom to experiment. Any opportunity there was for me to learn and see, okay, how do you do that? I'd ask questions and then go home and try and see how it works. I was born here in Harare. I grew up in this house. We haven't moved house at all since I was born. My family is pretty big. My dad's family, his father was one of 28 children. So I've got hundreds of uncles and aunts, and I literally have thousands of cousins. And I don't know all of them. I really don't know all of them. Well, I taught myself how to cook fairly young. It was sort of like a game for me when I was younger. So I would make menus and get everybody to sit down, and had to wait for me, and I had to pretend they were sitting in a restaurant and order their food and all sorts of stuff. So that's how it all started. And yeah, I suppose it developed from there. I mean, my family's huge, so food is important. When I win, I think first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to buy a ticket to Barbados. My sisters live in Barbados, so if I win, it's going to be a huge celebration, but in Barbados. Initially, when I first entered, you don't really think about, what it would really mean to win the competition. And personally, I don't like to count my chickens before they're hatched. But I mean, if I did, it would be great. I mean, there's so many things you can do, like a great motivation to say, you can actually do anything that you can put your mind to, so.